Hey there, folks. Are you fed up with those sky-high cable TV bills draining your wallet every single month? Well, buckle up because we've got an incredible game changer for you in this video. We're about to reveal how to craft your very own homemade TV antenna, unlocking free TV channels and a world of entertainment without spending a dime. And here's the best part. You don't need to be a tech wizard to make this happen. Anyone can do it. So, get ready to ditch that cable subscription for good and say hello to free TV forever. Let's dive right in. For this awesome project, we're kicking things off with 2 aluminum soda cans. Yep, you heard that right. Next, we'll grab a 3mm diameter cable. Aluminum or copper works just fine for this. We're also repurposing 2 old, burned-out bulbs. Let's give them a new life. Check out what I've got here. Some cables to connect everything, a coaxial cable to link up to the antenna, and a connector to make it all work smoothly. I'm also using 2 3/4-inch PVC T-joints, a couple of 3/4-inch PVC elbows, and a piece of 3/4-inch PVC pipe to bring this project together. I'm so excited to show you how to build this antenna. It's a total money saver, perfect for anyone looking to cut costs and ditch that pricey cable service. First up, we're taking apart this old bulb that's been sitting around. It's burnt out, but we're giving it a new purpose. Here's the trick. We just need to carefully remove this part and strip it down. Watch how simple this is. Boom. Look at that. It's so easy. We've cleaned up this bulb, and now it's ready for the next step. Now, let's widen this opening a bit. You can use a drill bit or even a screwdriver to get the job done. There we go. I think that looks perfect, nice and ready. Awesome, that part's done. We're making great progress already. Next, let's grab our 2 soda cans and drill a hole in each one. Trust me, this is going to be fun. Oops, let me clarify. We're making a hole just like this one so we can thread our 3mm cable through it. Alright, let's grab a drill bit to make this happen. And I'm finishing up this hole. Let's make it nice and clean. We need to widen this hole a bit more because that cable's got to fit through there perfectly. Okay, now we're carefully removing this little piece right here. Let's take it slow and steady. Just like that. Check this out. We can now fit this bulb piece right here. Doesn't that look amazing? Wow, it's really coming together. Look at that progress. Fantastic job. It's going to stay just like that. Perfect. So, what's our next move before we keep going? Let's grab that cable I mentioned earlier. Time to get it ready. We'll pull out 2 strands from it. Super easy step. The goal here is to connect these strands at these points. Trust me, it's going to work like a charm. Looking good. Now, I'm going to craft 2 small bars right here to help with the setup. One goes here, and the other one right over here. Let's make it happen. I'm using these wood screws with a triangular head, plus a screwdriver, to secure everything in place. Let's add the next piece to our setup. We're not going to tighten it all the way just yet. Let's keep it a little loose. We'll just set it in place for now, nice and easy. Alright, take a look at these conductors we've got here. Can you see them? Let's strip the ends to get them ready for the next step. And while we're at it, let's strip the end of the other one too, multitasking for the win. I've got about 2 meters of electrical cable here, and I'm going to wrap it right here. This will connect to the mesh of our coaxial cable. Bringing it all together. Let's finish tightening everything up. Take a look at that. Now, we'll add the other piece, which will also connect to the mesh. Almost there. I hope you're following along with me. This is so much fun, right? We're building a recycled antenna using everyday materials. How cool is that? Nice work. Now we need to secure this part right here. Let's make it sturdy. To do that, we'll drill a small hole on the side. Watch this. You could also use some adhesive to stick it to the body if you prefer. I was thinking of using hot silicone to attach it here. Sounds good, right? But I'd rather use a screw to make sure it's super secure. Let's go with that. So, I'm drilling a small hole on the side, and then we'll thread a screw through to lock it onto the can. Here we go. I'm using the drill bit to make that hole right at this spot. Whoa, as you can see, this material is pretty flimsy. So, let's switch gears and use hot silicone instead. Sometimes you've got to pivot. Well, that was a failed test. Let's try a different approach. Nice recovery. Oh no, the silicone applicator just broke. Can you believe it? If you're feeling inspired and want to support the channel, you can chip in through super thanks. Every little bit helps. Here's how it works. Your support would help us grab new tools to keep bringing you awesome projects like this one. Since this isn't working, let's set it aside and tackle this part by hand. We'll thread the cable through this section right here. Check it out. Let's bring it over to this spot. And now we'll place it right here, looking good. Next, we need to glue this down with silicone to keep it secure. I've got another trick up my sleeve. Let's switch strategies. Alright, I've got a tin soldering iron and some silicone right here. Let's make this work. I'm just going to heat it up here, and that'll help us make a solid joint. Genius, right? Hey, buddy, I applied the silicone, and look at that. The pieces are now firmly joined. Can you see how sturdy this is? Let's keep the momentum going. Moving on, let's grab that cable again. I'm going to cut it in half because we're now working on the dipole, the secret sauce that'll grab all the TV signals in your area. This little trick will make our antenna twice as powerful as a regular one. How awesome is that? To make that happen, we'll strip a bit of the cable right here. Let's do this. Looking great. Now, let's find that cable I showed you earlier. It's right here, ready to go. This is a 3mm aluminum electrical cable, perfect for the job. For those of you asking about inches, 1/8 of an inch will do the trick. The length of our soda can. Let's measure it up. This can measure 6 1/4 inches or 16 centimeters. Good to know. We'll need an extra length sticking out, the same as the can's length. Let's get that set up. So, I'm threading the cable through the can, making sure 6 1/4 inches or 16 centimeters sticks out from the body. Here's the can. Take a look. See where it ends with that attached piece? Let's make sure we get this right. To avoid any mistakes, I'm giving it 8 inches outward, then I'll trim the excess in the back. Smart, right? I hope you're following along. This is a key step. Check out this excess. We'll trim it down later. No worries. Now, I can cut 2 equal pieces. Let's make them match perfectly. Here's the first one, and we'll cut the second one in just a sec. I've got the other piece from the other side. Let's keep it moving. We'll hold on to this piece of cable for the next step. Let's straighten it out because this element needs to be nice and straight for the best results. You could also use a copper tube if you've got one handy. Alright, we've straightened it as best we can, looking sharp. So, what's the next step in our adventure? Now we need to insert it so it comes out right here. Let's make it happen. But hold on. If you've seen my previous video, you'll know we need an insulator here to stop the rod from touching the can. If we skip this, it'll mess up our whole project and we won't get any signal. Let's avoid that disaster. No signal means no TV, so let's fix that right now. We need to find something to use as an insulator. Let's see what we've got. I've got some RG6 coaxial cable here, and I'm going to cut a small section of the rubber to use it. Smart thinking, right? Look at that. I pulled it out perfectly. Let's cut another piece the same size. We'll need 2 of these. Alright, let's insert the rod first. Take a look right here. We'll thread it out through the front. Let's get it centered. This part can take a little time because you've got to line it up just right. Patience is key. Yes, there it is, nailed it. See how it comes out right through the center? I'll pull it through here, perfect. Since this has a rubber insulator, it won't cause any issues, and this part here is also insulated. No contact, no problem. But look, the front part is touching, we don't want that. So, I'm grabbing that piece of rubber I pulled out earlier, and we'll thread it through here to fix this. This will make sure the rod never touches the can. Problem solved. You'll need to repeat this step for the other side. Don't skip it. Awesome! We've got the dipoles of the antenna installed and ready to roll. Now, let's connect the cables to the inner conductor. This is where the magic happens. To make this connection rock solid, I'm using these splices I made with a screw. Pretty clever, huh? Watch this. I'll insert it here, place the cable right here, and when I tighten the screw, it'll be super secure. No bad connections here. That's how you make a solid joint. Here's what I'm doing next. I'll place it here in the back and wrap it around like this. Once I tighten the screw with the body, this will be locked in place, super firm. If you're using a copper rod, you can even weld it directly. Check this out. This gives us a really strong joint right here. Love that. I'll repeat this with the other cable and connector I've got ready. Let's keep it consistent. Heads up, this detail is super important. We've got 2 wires that are the same color. We can't mix them up when we make the connection. Let's stay sharp. I'll pick one. Let's go with this one and strip the end to get it ready. This wire connects to the rod in the center of the antenna. Got it. I'll mark this same cable on the other side, strip it, and make sure we don't get confused. This way we won't mess up the antenna connection. Organization is key. So what's next on our list? I'm grabbing a 3/4 inch PVC elbow and we'll thread it through like this. Watch how easy this is. We'll bring it over here, set it in place, and give it a little twist to lock it in. Nice. Look at that. Now we need to add a small tube right here to keep building. I've got this tube ready, and we'll cut a small piece to make the connection. Let's do this. Keep following along as we make this connection. Almost there. I'm using this cutting tool to slice this section of tube. Precision is everything. Let's insert it right here. We'll place it like this, looking good so far. Now, we'll take a T-joint and set it up like this. Take a look. We'll keep threading our cable through, bringing it over to this spot. Here we go. We'll place it right here, just like this. Can you see it? There it is. We've got this side assembled, halfway done. Let's move on to the other side. We're on a roll. I've got a little trick to share with you. Check this out. This is a piece of rubber I pulled from the cable earlier. Let's put it to good use. We'll take this part right here and thread it through. Watch this. Here's the thing. If I insert it here, there's a good chance this part will wiggle loose. See how it might come off? We don't want that. So, I'm grabbing that piece of rubber to fix this issue. I tested this off camera, and it works like a charm. I just place it like this. Now it holds perfectly, and it can still turn. Genius fix. Look at that rubber in place. See how firm it stays. This little trick means we don't even need adhesive. Love that. Now let's cut another piece of tube to make the splice right here. I've got an interesting fact to share. Pay attention. We'll use some tape to measure from the center of one rod to the center of the other, 20 centimeters or 8 inches. See, 8 inches. I'll set it up like this, measure out 8 inches, and there we go. That's 8 inches, meaning our two rods will be 8 inches or 20 centimeters apart. Perfect. Now, I'll measure the tube and cut it here to match that length. Let's get it right. The measurement should be between 15 and 20 centimeters. Good to know. Exactly spot on. So, I'll keep inserting here, and now we need to pull it out through this part. Let's close everything up. We're so close. And there you have it. Our antenna is practically ready to go. Before we finish up here, let's make a splice so this joint stays hidden in the tube. It'll look so sleek. This will make our antenna look super professional. Trust me, you'll love the final result. Alright, I'm cutting another section of tube to fit this T-joint. Let's make it perfect. Nice. Now let's grab some coaxial cable. Time to bring it all together. I'm reusing one end of this cable. Let's make the most of what we've got. We'll add a connector so we can hook this antenna up to your TV. Easy peasy. On the other side, we'll strip it down to make this splice. Let's get to work. I've already got a mesh I'm reusing. I'll cut it here and make the splice. To make this easier, I'll first thread the coaxial cable through like this. See how I did that? Now, let's make the connection. Here we go. Remember those stripped cables? I've got them right here. I'll identify them, and we can connect them. Here they are, connected to the central conductor. Looking good. We need to make sure these stripped cables don't touch this part. It could mess up the signal or stop the antenna from working. The right move is to clean the dielectric a bit and remove this layer. Let's do it right. I'll take care of that and be right back. Don't go anywhere. Check out what I was talking about. See how I removed that layer? Now we can make the cable connection with confidence. Let's do this. Time to splice it together. Here we go. If you'd rather solder it, that works too. Your choice. I'm going to do this splice by hand. Let's make it clean. I'll bend it like this to keep it as far apart as possible. Smart, right? And this part, I'll wrap it right here to keep it secure. Let's add some tape to this spot to hold it all together. I've got the tape right here. Let's wrap it up. Finally, we just need to connect the mesh part, these two cables right here. This connects to the mesh of the coaxial cable, and we'll insulate it well, safety first. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for JM Actualities so you don't miss out on more projects like this. We've got tons of cool stuff coming your way. Got any thoughts or questions? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I've got detailed designs and drawings. I can head there to grab all the measurements for this project. So, let's wrap this up. Look how everything stays neatly hidden. We'll tuck this cable away so the antenna looks clean and professional. Let's finish strong. Amazing job, friends. This is how we built a powerful antenna that'll let you watch free TV right in your home. Let's go over the final measurements one more time. I'll measure it out for you. We've got 20 centimeters in length here, nice and precise. This distance right here works perfectly for our setup. Let's test it out and maybe even improvise a bit. Sometimes that's the best way to learn, with 20 centimeters or 8 inches of cable. I'll run the numbers through a program to see what frequency this antenna is operating at. Let's get technical. But first, I'm going to test it as is. Let's see what happens. If it doesn't work, I'll trim it down to 16 centimeters. That's the sweet spot for a 470 megahertz frequency. For now, I want to test this antenna just like this. Fingers crossed. Fun fact, when I ran the calculations, this antenna showed a gain of 7 dB. That's some serious power for a DIY project. In real-world use, we should get at least 6 dB of gain. Pretty impressive, right? Plus, it's got a solid bandwidth. Everything we need for great TV. Alright, let's put this antenna to the test. Here we go. Take a look, friends. I've got no signal on my TV right now. Everything's disconnected. Nothing's coming through. See, no signal on the TV. Let's change that. What's next? Let's install this antenna and bring those channels to life. We'll make the connection. Watch this. Let's tune into a digital channel. Here we go. There it is. We've got a digital channel ready to test. Let's check the back. Take a look right here. No connection yet, but I've got the antenna in my hands. It's still disconnected. Let's move closer to the window. See where I've got the rod set up. Here's the splice, and this is my coaxial cable coming from the roof. Let's hook it up. I'll connect it now, but still no signal because there's no antenna installed yet. Look, no service at all. We've got to fix that. Let's head up together to install this antenna, and when we come back down, we'll have a signal. Trust me. We're done with the install. How easy was that? Check out how we spliced the coaxial cable right here. Here's my rod. We're setting it up at 6 meters high for the best results. Let's head back down and see what we've got. Moment of truth. We're back, and everything's just as we left it. Except now we've got a signal on our TV. Take a look. Here's the cable connected, coming straight from the roof. Nice. And here's the coaxial cable running from the window. Everything's in place. Sorry about the mess. I got a little excited. Everything's set up exactly as we planned. And boom, we've got a signal on our TV. Let's see how these channels look. Here we go. Wow, that's excellent. Crystal clear, amazing. So what do you think of this antenna, friends? I'm inviting you to build one yourself. It's a game changer. I'll put together a detailed design of this antenna so you can grab all the measurements you need. Pretty cool, right? What do you think? If you haven't yet, subscribe to JM Actualidates. We've got more awesome projects coming your way. Pro tip, you can orient this antenna to find the nearest broadcast tower for the best signal. You can even use it indoors if you want. How versatile is that? Let's check out this channel. I'll do a quick test by adjusting the tube. Take a look. I'm moving the tube right here. See where it's at. Oops, sorry. That was the fast camera messing with us. Let's tweak it a bit. Watch this, watch this. This is how you orient the antenna toward the nearest broadcast tower. Smart, right? And look at that. The signal just got even better. I hope this demo shows you how awesome a well-made antenna can be. Don't waste your time on stuff that doesn't work when you can build this. One last thing, I'll disconnect it so you can see the signal drop in real time. We'll leave it on this initial channel for now. Let's switch to another channel that's even better. Here we go. There's our new channel. I'll disconnect everything right here, and I'll keep the camera steady so you can see my hand. Here's the connector. Watch as the signal disappears. That's it for this video. See you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. You're the best.